So, Annie,
Hi,
welcome to the classroom. Very nice to meet you.
nice to
So,
meet you too, Teacher Sally.
great. Like you just mentioned, I'm teacher Sally, and today we're going to be covering the topic team transfer in
Mm.
working environment.
Oh,
Team transfer. Do you have any idea what that is about? Do you know what team transfer means per se?
I think team transfer it means to transfer to another, like maybe someone is not satisfied with the recent workload or environment, so they want to move to another like department or company. Is like that?
Well, team transfer in itself does not have any negative implications to it. So,
Oh, okay.
yes, it means that somebody wants to move to either another department or another team within the same company, but it doesn't mean that they want
Mm.
to move to another company.
Oh,
And
I see.
yeah,
Mm.
the reasons for transferring to another team or department within the same company, they can be manifold. So it doesn't have a negative implication. Somebody doesn't necessarily have to be dissatisfied in order to transfer and make a transfer. They might find something else more interesting, but they still might feel general job satisfaction in their current team. So there's
Oh,
no
okay.
negative implication with it. It's a static word. It's a static word.
Static words, it means it's neutral.
Exactly. It's neutral.
Oh,
Yep. It
oh,
has
okay. I
no
see.
positive or negative implications whatsoever.
Okay. Okay,
Exactly.
okay. I understand. Yeah. Thank you.
That is going to be the topic of this lesson, and we're going to be covering several points. So, the first
Okay.
thing we're going to do is we're going to have a dialogue.
Okay.
We're going to examine a dialogue that is between two colleagues that are talking about the colleague who is going to transfer. And then we have a couple of factual questions that goes along with this conversation. Everything we're going to be covering today is related to this one topic, right?
Okay. Okay.
So, and if you're ready, then I'm ready, and then we can go and, take a look.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Fantastic. Okay, great, Annie.
Okay.
So let's go.
Okay.
So that's the next slide. Here we have our dialogue. Okay.
Okay.
Besides the transcript, a couple of words, as you can see, are highlighted over here. These
Oh,
are
yes. Yeah,
words.
yeah, yeah.
So everything in red is upper level vocabulary. And these are phrasal words. That's surprising, fitting in well, at least. All right.
Okay.
What we're going to be doing first is we're going to listen in on a dialogue and then we will discuss this briefly. So
Mm,
if
okay.
you're ready, I'm going to play it first and then we run through the dialogue step by step. All right?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. So, like I said, two colleagues from Peter, that's the guy who wants
You
to
know
leave.
Peter will transfer to another team next month.
So that was a bit quick. All right, there we go. Play it from the beginning. Two colleagues.
Okay.
Like I said, they talk about Peter, who is the person that wants to transfer to another team, but stays within the same company. All right?
Okay.
Great.
Do you know Peter will transfer to another team next month?
No, I haven't. Do you know why?
He complained about not fitting in well, but he hasn't mentioned it in the last few weeks.
That's surprising. I always thought he was happy with his role here. Have you talked to him about it?
Yes, I have. He's been feeling a bit undervalued lately. He also said that his skills aren't reaching their full potential. That's why he has been exploring opportunities in other teams.
That's concerning. I really hate to lose his talent and expertise. I wish we had made him feel more valued here. Well, at least, he's not leaving the company, though.
So, have you Did you get everything that was presented in the audio dialogue?
Oh, I can get maybe 19% of this dialogue. Yeah, but
Great.
some of the words, the highlighted words, I'm not sure in this dialogue, in this context, stand for.
Let's go through
Yeah.
them step
Okay.
by step. So tell me first which words you do not understand in a transcript.
I do not, I'm a bit, I can't understand that's concerning, the word concerning in the last line.
That
Yeah,
one.
this one. Yeah.
To be concerned in English means to be worried about something.
Oh,
Something that can make you feel irritated or worried. That's when we say something is concerning. It implies that a problem might arise, right?
oh, yeah, okay.
还不
Okay, okay.
到真的担心的重点，还不到担心，其实没有那么严重，不是这是跟担心是不同 level 的不同的程度。担心真的是很 worried。Concerning is just something that might make you think about an issue.
会有一些就是在事情还没有真的发生的时候，然后
没有
会有一些担心、隐忧。OK
没有错，就是程
OK，
度是不一样，程度是不一样。担心的是 worry，其实如果有人生病了，还是像你刚讲的，事情已经发生了，那你才会担心。对
worry。哦，Thank you, teacher，很清楚。
Yeah, concerning is like a lighter way of expressing that you might be thinking about something. Like something's on your mind. If something's on your mind, you're concerned about something.
Concern. Okay, I'm concerned about the 世界末日。
Oh yeah,
So
me too.
yeah.
All the time. Quite correct. There's a great many things to be concerned about. There's a
Yeah,
great
many
many
things to be
concerned about.
concerned about. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Quite
thank you,
correct.
teacher. Thank you, teacher. Okay.
Fantastic.
I think maybe I cannot fully understand the line like the man said. He also said that his skills aren't reaching their full potential. I'm not sure what is it related? There is like the company.
There relates to Peter's skills. Okay. So
Ah,
there in this case, if you can see my cursor on the screen, that refers to the subject line over here, that Peter's skills are reaching their full potential.
Oh, so
So
it means
Peter has capabilities. He obviously is a very good worker in the team.
yes.
And he seems to be very engaged in what he's doing in his job and contributes a lot of energy into the position, to the position. So he feels that his skills, what he brings to the table, his abilities are not appreciated. That's really what it means. So undervalued and not appreciated, they literally mean the exact same thing.
Oh,
Undervalue someone and not appreciate someone, they are essentially paraphrases of each other. So the man,
okay.
the colleague, he goes on to elaborate on that. He says, so Peter is feeling a bit undervalued lately, and then he goes and extends on that by stating he also said that his skills are not reaching their full potential. So he feels he is essentially doing kind of a boring job and that he could do a lot more and contribute more to the company or to a team. And he feels that his current role and position are not not living up to that level.
Oh, I see. So that's why he wants to transfer to another team.
Exactly. So he
Oh, okay. I
board
see.
may be certainly underappreciated, undervalued and underappreciated. They're literally the same thing. And that he is generally dissatisfied. So circling back to what you previously said, in this case, the team transfer is in fact happening exactly because the person is unhappy. So it was actually, it's
Yeah,
true.
because the woman said she thought Peter was happy with his role here. Yeah, but it
That was
just turned
just
out to be.
superficial. That was just superficial. So, so that's what she thought. But Peter
Oh.
is acting. So really, essentially, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Wow. Well, that will definitely impact the whole team, I guess. Yeah.
Certainly, because obviously Peter, at least that's how he sees himself, is or that's also the way that his colleagues see himself, as we can get from the conversation. So even though Peter isn't part of the conversation, what we have here is we get a very clear idea of the working environment inside the team. So, and this is actually something that's quintessential in the English language, is reading in between the lines. So we see the dialogue and we see the words, but what does it imply? That's the key point. The implication here is that two colleagues are concerned and slightly disappointed that one of their colleagues is leaving their team and transferring to another. Because
Okay.
clearly the woman in the last message states, I really hate to lose his talent and expertise. So
Expertise.
that implies that Peter is a very qualified employee and a qualified teammate. That's what it implies, exactly.
I
Do you
see. I
have
see.
any other questions about this dialogue? Anything that needs to be clarified?
At least not. So far, I don't have questions here. Yeah.
Great. So keep that in mind. The implication of what is said, something that you draw out, conclusions that you make from what you hear or what you read. That's the key point for the next part, because now we're going to be covering factual questions. The first question related to a dialogue is, what specific reasons did Peter give for feeling undervalued in his current role?
Thinks his skills are not fully his skills. He may be very capable, but he feels that his skills are not fully being appreciated in his team. He feels a bit undervalued.
Oh, very good. You used that word, undervalued, exactly. Quite correct. Anything else that he might feel?
He just feel dissatisfaction. I can't read dissatisfied.
Correct.
Yeah.
Dissatisfied. Peter feels
Dissatisfied.
dissatisfied. Exactly.
Yeah, and he's maybe he thinks because in the dialogue, then he mentioned he cannot fully make enable himself a higher level or a higher achievement in the team so far. So that makes him wanna transfer to another team, but not leaving the company.
For now, he's not
For
going to
now.
leave the company. Yeah, definitely. That's reading in between the lines. Quite correct. So for now, he's going to stay. He's going to move to another team.
Yeah.
Quite correct. So, and this is what we need to conclude. And this is what we need to So we have the conversation on the one hand, and these are the conclusions that we need to make from what we have read or listened to. So this links in with the next question, which is, those two questions are actually extremely similar. So
yeah.
first one is, what specific reason did Peter give for feeling undervalued? What specific reason did he give for feeling undervalued? And you responded to this briefly. You said he feels that he cannot fully develop his skills, or that his skills are just that he can't really reach the maximum potential within his field of expertise. That is the specific response. Because that he feels undervalued, that's actually the reason that he wants to transfer to another team.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So maybe I have to, maybe my answer, it suits well for the question 2.
It fits better for a second question. So if you look
yeah.
at the information as an upside down triangle, usually we always go from broad to specific. And
Yeah.
here it's mixed up. This is actually the broader question, and this is the more specific question. And we can say the questions are really even phrased like this. So what specific reasons did Peter give? And that is that he feels in the current role, in his current position, he is not able to reach the full potential or maximum professional level that he probably could with the current job responsibilities. And then why he is transferring to another team is actually what you just stated earlier, that he feels undervalued. He feels undervalued. So they link in with each other, those questions. They're very similar, and they can be responded to actually in one extended response.
I get it.
Exactly.
I get it.
So very different. There's always the what and the why. All right. There's always the what, like what's happening. What is he feeling?
More
And then
specific.
why. Exactly. So we have
Okay.
a what, we have a why, and we possibly have an example.
Okay. I get it.
Great.
Thank you.
Oh, all right. Next one. Again, this is talking about the specific feeling, the conclusions that we can draw from the conversation. And the third question states, what did the woman think about Peter's feelings towards his current role? What did she think?
She thought Peter was happy with his role.
That's what she thought. Yeah, exactly. She was surprised, right? She didn't know that he was dissatisfied. She thought it was surprising.
She thought Peter may just work in the same team. Yeah. Forever. Maybe. Yeah, because Peter is so he's so expertise. Yeah, in his
Diligent.
job. Yeah, and qualified. So yeah, that makes his team feels like yeah, he's going to stay here for a very long time. Yeah.
The word that you can use to describe Peter in his current team before the transfer is diligent. So Peter was probably very diligent.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
Committed to his role, right? And that left the impression to his colleagues that he's happy with what he's doing. So he was diligently working. Diligent can be used as both an adjective and also an adverb. And that is the term. So, and another thing is, this is the next question. That's where I want to ask you. That's not stated in a dialogue. What do you believe? What was Peter probably like at the workplace? So we know he was probably very diligent in the way that he was conducting himself in the working environment and on the job, right? He was diligently working on the job. What else do you think? Might he have carried a poker face with him? Might he have carried a poker face, like the Joker? Might he have been wearing like a poker face and portray and act super happy on a job, but in reality he felt really dead on the inside? Do you think that might be the case?
Yeah, I think he might act like in this team he might act like very energetic, very happy. Yeah. But instead in his heart, deep in his heart, he might think it's draining. emotional draining.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. I think his personality or his expressions in this team would be like that. Yeah.
very likely. And
Yeah.
you just gave away the key word, expressions, which is the next topic that we're going to
Oh.
cover. So this is where we're going to be using what we have picked up in the conversation. And these are really maybe sometimes they can be phrasal words, they can be collocations, they can be like on an upper English level, maybe C1, C2. They can be idiomatic, that can be idiomatic language as well. So like, for example, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, you know? These are expressions in the English language.
Oh, I don't
Now,
know.
not yet, not yet. You'll get there.
Okay.
Don't worry. You'll get there very soon. Maybe not tomorrow, but you don't have to, but you'll get there, all right? Don't worry about that. So
Okay.
but we're going to cover this first. So we're going
Okay.
step by step, as we should.
Okay.
So here, this is where we're going to actually apply the vocabulary words. Noun, the N in the brackets refers to a noun. That means to transfer to another.
To transfer to another department.
Correct. Companies
Okay.
have departments. They have departments.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Can I
Exactly.
say, well, what if it's out of the company, like I transfer to another gate, like in the airport? Can I say that? Or it's
You
not very commonly
transfer
used?
to another gate. You can transfer to like another train station. You can say that, like transferring gates. That is in fact said. That's true. You can say that. That's not problematic. That is grammatically correct. Transferring gates, transferring airports, laying over. You can say that definitely. So to transfer
Okay.
to another company, department, transfer to another gate, an airport, a train station, these are all correct. So it's a physical transfer from point A to point B.
Okay.
You
Okay.
can transfer hospitals too, by the way. So if you're sick like me right
Yeah.
now, you can
Oh.
actually, you can transfer from one hospital to another.
I
Serious.
hope you getting well soon. Don't transfer to
No,
another hospital.
don't worry. I still have
Yeah.
my vital signs. So my vital
Oh.
signs are okay. Don't worry about that. It's a physical transfer from
Yeah.
point A to point B, and that
Okay.
can be, like you said, a gate. That's actually a very good example. So the next one, he complained about not fitting in well. There should be a dash, V-ing, that refers to the gerund. The gerund is the Latin
Okay.
term exactly for verb plus ing.
Okay.
In the
So,
text, it was to complain about not fitting in well. That's
can
over.
I say, can I say to complain about not blending in well?
Yes, that's correct. You can
Oh.
say that too, not blending in well. Or blending in well, blending is more for crowds. So that is if you are maybe very outstanding in the way that you look or you dress, and then you can say you don't blend in very well. Or the opposite, you have 1,000 people wearing suits, like on the Japanese metro, for example,
Yeah.
and you also wear a suit, then you obviously blend in very well, right?
Oh, okay. I get it.
Exactly. So they can be used in the positive and also in the negative.
Okay.
Great. So next is he was happy with his role. And again, the N in brackets refers to a noun. All right. To be
Okay.
happy with could be anything in this case. To be happy with, you go ahead. What would
Okay.
you fill out? What would you be happy with?
To be happy with the result.
Yeah, that's correct.
To be happy with the result. Like for example, which something that I've worked on for times, and for ages, and then it turned out to be a good result. So I can say to be happy with the result.
if you use the phrase, the word result, you should elaborate on that. Like the result of what? The result of
Oh,
them, a project that you've been working on for a very long time. So if you use result, then my follow-up question in my head would immediately be, okay, result of what? Many
what?
things can have results. The result of the surgery, for example, if you're talking about it in,
Yeah.
in a medical context. So if you say happy with the result of what? A project, maybe DIY home refurnishing, a surgery, the results of an exam that you recently took. So if you use result, elaborate on that, okay? So I'm happy with the result of my project at work that I've been working on for X amount of time, maybe, I don't know, the last 3 months, the last 2 quarters, whatever you might want to say, but elaborate on that slightly, because again, a result can occur from many different things.
Yeah.
Right?
So maybe I have to revise it, like to be happy with the result of the project I was working on. I
Have
worked
been
on.
working on.
Have been working.
on.
Well, have
Exactly.
been working on.
That would be perfect tense. Exactly. Have been working on. You have to use perfect tense because that has relevance. Anything that started in the past, right, and has relevance in the future, it's best to utilize the perfect tense for that one.
Okay. Thank you.
Project that you have been working on, or if the project is closed and it's done and dusted and filed away and the boss approved of it, yes, then you can say, I am happy with the results with the project that I was working on. That's okay too.
Oh,
Maybe for example, the key is
see
to
the difference.
produce an extended response here. Produce an extended response, provide additional information. All right?
Okay. Thank
Fantastic. So, and then the last one. Now, I know that I'm always going into great extent with everything. I'm covering far more than we probably should. Last one, real quick. He has been feeling a bit undervalued. To feel undervalued.
To feel undervalued. Okay.
Or underappreciated, for that matter.
Oh, okay.
So, open-ended questions, that is the next part that we're covering in this PPT. And this is really about your own ideas. Like, what do you think that could be implicated as a response from the company in order to make Peter feel more valued? Exactly. So all of these questions, they're really about your own ideas. What do you believe they could do in order to improve the working environment, maybe?
Okay.
The first question is as follows. What could the company do to make Peter feel more valued? What do you believe?
Maybe just like, because Peter, I did not know what Peter he has mentioned specifically in the context, because he just said he wanted to transfer to another team, but he didn't mention it very detailed that what does he want to make the company valued him more. But I guess, yeah.
Now, this is actually where you gotta prompt yourself, where you gotta think it for yourself, because Peter did state that he felt undervalued, and in regard to his expertise, he does not feel that he's meeting his full potential. So if that was you, for example, what would you wish the company could do in order to make you feel more valued? Now, and the easiest way to respond to this question is obviously salary raise, right? So it's the easiest way that anyone could ever respond to that question, right? But what else could they do in order to make an employee feel more valued? That is not necessarily restricted to Peter's situation alone. What do you think a company could do in order to make any employee feel more valued on the job?
Because many employees, they have their own duty and their project, and they have a very clear workload and the timeline they're going to do to fulfill. So I think maybe it can be standardized. Like for example, the company can give out some standard evaluation, probably, and then they can just like to review it regularly, for example, monthly, weekly, and if the employee who reached the standard, then the company might maybe give some bonus. Yeah.
So you believe that a company could have a standardized framework for
Framework. Oh, yeah.
evaluating employees' performance?
Yes.
Don't a lot of companies already have that? Do you believe that this company doesn't have that? Excuse me, it's moving back.
Oh, okay.
So you believe that they could have a standardized framework to evaluate the employees' performances. And if they have met them or exceeded them, they could reward the employees with bonuses.
Yeah. Like if they have a framework, then they can just like give some maybe some well-performed employees rewarding.
Rewards in what, like, of what kind? Would they be financial rewards? What type of reward? Because there are many different types of rewards. There can be learning
Oh,
development rewards. There can obviously be financial rewards that is in the form of a bonus or a salary raise. That would obviously, best case scenario is always and forever, not just always and forever, always and five ever actually, a salary raise, right? So, but what type of bonuses could that be? That's also something you might think about, because a lot of people, when they think about bonuses or rewards, they generally associate that with rewards in a financial setting. But that's not necessarily the only type of reward that you can receive. Moving on to the next one. How do you think Peter's transfer will impact the current team? What do you believe?
Can I say reduce the team's morale?
Well,
Reduce?
yeah, you can say that. Like it might impact.
Impact.
I wouldn't directly say reduce, but it might have a negative impact on the team's overall morale.
Oh, negatively impact. Oh, okay.
Negative impact, yeah, negative.
Okay.
Or it might negatively impact.
Okay.
However, if you talk about morale, you have to know that morale, or team spirit in this case, actually, team spirit would be a better word to paraphrase it. Morale is a very deep-rooted term that is actually very often used in the context of military warfare.
So
it has it has a deeper rooted meaning. So if you're talking about morale, then you would refer, often it's referred to the morale of soldiers in maybe the infantry as part of an army. But if it's in a working context, then you would preferably utilize the word spirit. So team spirit.
Oh, team spirit.
As opposed to morale. Exactly. So morale is very deep-rooted, and it has something to do with your overall drive, with your own internal drive as a person to work or execute a task.
Oh, okay. I see the differences.
Exactly. So there are differences, and it would be team spirit. It will be more appropriate to say team spirit in this context.
Team spirit. Okay.
So, and the third one, the last question, what steps do you believe should the company take to prevent other team members from feeling undervalued? So again, this question is very similar to the first one.
First one, yes. Prevent.
Could they do?
I think, yeah, maybe they can set up like a system of the standard evaluation, and maybe like company, they can just praise each team members. Oh, you're doing well on this project, the ongoing project. Yeah, you're doing very well, and I can see your how you highlight this project, how you do it. Yeah, so I think it can highly prevent the members from feeling undervalued.
In this case, what the question implies, because you're talking about employee review, that's what you're talking about. You're talking about reviews over here. However, this question implies what steps the company could take in order to stop other team members from feeling undervalued. So this implies that maybe the team overall has very good quality employees that contribute significantly professionally to whatever project the team might be working on. So, and in order to prevent others from coming into the same situation as Peter did, the company could maybe establish a framework of rewards, a rewarding system that's always the most effective, actually. Because what you're
Yes.
talking about is more like a review system. That is, if somebody is maybe underperforming, and then you sit them together with an overperformer and let them learn from each other. That's more like a review system, but not a reward system. A reward is when you've done something very well, or you have exceeded expectations professionally, not personally, but on a professional level. And your company rewards you either with stocks, for example, with a bonus. Maybe some companies actually also reward you with like a holiday trip. That's
Holiday. Yeah.
that's a reward system. You know what I mean? So these are things that the company could implement in order to prevent other team members from also feeling undervalued and just leaving the company straight away.
Mm.
So review systems are problematic in the way that it makes people feel overly examined oftentimes. So it might make people feel like they're being watched or monitored extensively, but not rewarded in that matter. All right, then the next step is going to be the summative.
Okay.
And for that one, I am going to stop sharing my screen. And what I want you to do is I want you to tell me in your own words what you have picked up from this lesson.
Okay.
So please go ahead. Annie, do you want me to run you through that one briefly again?
Okay. Yes, sure.
Great. So as part of the summary, essentially we have 3 points over here. All right.
Okay.
We have a dialogue that happens between two colleagues, a guy and a female colleague of Peter. And it reveals Peter's plan to switch teams for the reason being is that he feels undervalued and believes his skills are not being fully utilized. So both the female and the male colleague, they express surprise and also regret. They wish they could have made Peter feel more appreciated in their team. And the last point is that despite their disappointment, they find comfort in the fact that Peter is actually not leaving the company, but currently just transferring to another team. So what can you give me this one slightly in your own language? Can you maybe paraphrase this a little bit? Just what do you remember from what we have just went through?
Okay, no problem. There is a conversation between a man and a woman, and they're probably colleagues. They're talking about the transfers of Peter. Yeah, one of their colleagues. Yes, and the woman mentioned that Peter said he wants to. The woman mentioned that Peter is going to transfer to another team, and then she was surprising that he is. She thought he is just happy with his work and think he is fully just like his skills are are just fully being valued in his current team. Yeah, but lately they found out that Peter is not going to leave the company. He's just staying in the company, but he just transferred to another team. Yes.
All right. And more, there's more to it. So we know that the woman is surprised about it. And
Yes.
the man offers the reasons. What are the reasons per se? What are the reasons?
He
Why does
think-
Peter leave? Why does he leave his current team?
He thinks it's a kind of like he can't fully like his skills can't be fully valued in this team.
They
And
can't be or they aren't.
they aren't. His skills
Yeah.
aren't his skills aren't being fully valued in the team.
Exactly. They probably could be, right?
Yes.
But the company isn't doing it. So that's on them.
Yes. Yeah, so that's
There's-
why he wants to transfer.
Correct. There's another keyword that could sum up why Peter is leaving his current team. You want me to tell you? You want me to reveal that keyword for you?
Let me
That-
guess, is this satisfaction?
No, it's called managerial negligence. It's a beautiful word, right?
Oh, wow,
Two
what?
words, actually.
Wow.
Managerial negligence. So if a manager or a
Mm.
supervisor
Manage- Huh.
neglects his responsibilities of supervising and rewarding his top employees, then this is called managerial negligence.
Managerial negligence.
Exactly,
Oh,
managerial.
wow, what a beautiful word.
That's a bit of a word, but it's a beautiful term and it sums up exactly like what the company, or the team supervisor has failed in doing. So he did not come true to that. He did not fulfill his managerial responsibilities of rewarding his employees, right? Okay, Annie, so the last part is the mistake review. Okay, here's where we're going to run through briefly some of the things that these are again all related to the dialogue, and this is related to both the questions and also what Peter has experienced in his team. Okay.
Okay.
So should I read this out for you aloud, or do you want to read this?
I think I can understand the gist and the words so far because I have already done it in the previous like the like the test.
The
They have-
pre-class assessment.
Yeah, the pre-test. Yeah, yes.
Great. So essentially in a pre-class assignment, what was like you said, you have already completed that one. And
Right.
one of the key parts over here, these are like the correct answers in brackets to the pre-class assignment. All right.
Okay.
So we go through this one briefly.
Okay.
This would the correct response in that situation would be that many companies let their workers change to different teams. And that this is important for a few reasons. So when workers feel stuck in their jobs, they may not be happy. And this is again strictly related to job satisfaction, right? This is what we covered earlier. They may not feel happy about that. So if the workers do not feel happy, they might want to change their jobs, and they're often engaged in jobs that feel odd to them or that are boring. They don't reach their full potential. When companies allow job transfers, they can maintain good working force, and that's essential actually for any company. Because to continuously hire and retrain new workforce is actually very expensive. That goes on the company's budget. So this helps reduce turnover. We touched that one briefly, worker turnover. The goal for any human resource department of a company should be to reduce worker turnover as much as possible. Because like I said, training workforce is extremely expensive, actually.
Yes.
And if a company has a high working turnover or turnover rate, actually, then it's likely that the working environment isn't very good. And we often refer to this as a toxic working environment. So turnover is when workers leave for new jobs. Keeping good workers is good for a company because it saves time and money. Again, I just said that exactly, right?
Yes.
And it also allows companies to keep valued experience within their own organization. Losing talented workers can be costly. That's the main factor. Worker turnover or a high turnover rate really is a massive expense for any company.
Be costly.
Exactly.
Yes.
Cost. It's expensive to hire and train new staff. That's a massive problem.
Yes.
All right. So the second question, do you remember how you responded to that one?
I don't remember.
All right. The ideal response over here would be one reason companies support moving workers to new jobs is that it helps them learn new skills. And this is true. If you've been with a company for a long time and you transfer departments internally, you can apply skills that you picked up in your previous role and apply to a new department. And this is relevant because companies can be very, very big and they can have many different departments. So if you have experience across different departments, that's actually very good for your own professional development, but also for the team in itself, for every team that you are a part of. If you apply skills that you picked up in a previous role to the new one in a new team. So, and that is essentially what this is stated over here. Learning to do new things, good for the worker because they gain more experience. That's professional and personal experience, helps the company how by further professionally developing their own workforce. All right?
Okay.
So workers that develop many different skills, they develop a sort of skill set that is applied to that one company across different positions. So promotions and moving on to different teams, they are always a very good method that companies can utilize in order to develop their own workforce professionally.
Yeah.
So again, that also links in with workforce. Next one. So next one is that. What do you remember what you responded to the third question?
I remember I chose C.
Okay. So the correct response is that one over here. Another reason for allowing transfers is to keep the workers happy. That is in regard to job satisfaction, right? If employees know they can change jobs, they may feel more excited about their work, and they may see the company as a place that cares about their happiness or professional progression. That means career development. This can make a better work environment where employees feel appreciated. All right. So when workers feel valued, they are more likely to work hard. Not necessarily, but in most cases, ideally, yes, that will be the case. They may also feel less stressed. So reducing stress can also help employees to perform better. When they are happy, they may stay with the company longer. Again, it reduces the workers' turnover rate. Okay?
Yes.
All of these are linked to the core part. Reduce working turnover. That is the core part. Exactly. That
Yes.
should be the core interest of any company.
Yes.
So,
Agree with
and
that.
the last one over here. Finally, letting employees move can help companies deal with changes. Businesses often face new challenges and needs. When employees can move between teams, companies can fill important jobs quickly. This flexibility is important for success. So in conclusion, allowing workers to transfer within a company is good for both employees and employers. It helps workers grow. It also helps them keep happy and allows companies to adapt to change. So, and this is actually crisis management. All right. So if you wanted to give this a head word, an umbrella term, then this will be crisis management.
You mean crisis?
Crisis,
Crisis.
C-R-I-S-I-S.
Crisis management. Oh,
Exactly.
I get it.
Because
Yeah.
business environments, they are ever changing and ever evolving. So if you notice that suddenly, for whatever reason, you have one employee that's underperforming in a job they were previously overperforming in, they can be moved to another team. They can shift the team and continue working, like developing their skill or applying a skill that they have picked up on that job they previously excelled in, without really having to let them go.
Yeah, to dig deeper of their potential capability.
And sometimes people might actually feel fatigued about a job they have been performing for a very long time term. So sometimes it's not even actually that the job has changed or the environment has changed, but workers might actually get fatigued. That means tired or of their job or their position. So to change, to let people, give them the option to change roles is actually extremely important for professional and career development from that aspect and that perspective.
Yes, I agree with that.
Absolutely. Good. So
Yeah.
next one.
Okay.
These are just a couple of questions, okay? What is the main topic regarding employee transfers? And we have A, B, C, and D over here.
Yeah, I chose B. I
You
chose,
chose
sorry,
B?
I chose B. Yeah, I chose B.
Okay.
Yeah.
For workers and companies. And that is correct. So B, employee transfers are important for workers and companies, as we have just analyzed, right?
Yeah. Like my
So,
pre-class test, I done it like a full mark. So the question 1 to 6, I've done it. Yeah, I completely done it, and
fantastic.
yeah, I got a full mark.
Great.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
do you want to skip this part then, or do you still want to go through it?
I think like for example, I want to may I translate to see if my understanding is correct in the
Well, obviously.
article passage. Yeah.
So do you then we just go over here into that one. Is that correct? Do you want to go to that one straight away?
Okay. Yes. Sure.
Okay. Well, then give me that one. First, we have it in English. You went through this one previously.
Yes.
So that one over here. Exactly. So this is 3 and 4. Then briefly give me either an English or a Chinese overview over what this states.
Okay. Like the third passage. The overall is about like the decision of uh the employees they're transferring to another team, and that makes the workers feel valued.
Okay, it makes them feel valued and
Yeah, and
anything
they
else?
will stay with the company uh, if they feel more valued, and they will be happier, so
They
they
will be
might stay with the company longer.
They'll stay with the company longer. Okay, and
Yeah.
then What does that lead to? Like, what's the positive account for the company?
Positive, teacher, you mean positive point?
Exactly. What's the good thing about reducing worker turnover? What's the positive? What's good about that for a company, from a company's perspective?
The cost of training.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
What can a company do with that? Can they reduce it, or can they omit it entirely?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, they can just reduce the cost from. Yes.
Exactly. Very good. So this can create a better working environment where employees feel appreciated, they feel more valued, likely to work harder, not strictly necessary, but most of the time, right?
Yes. Yes.
But the most important thing is reduce worker turnover, the turnover rate for a company, which
Turnover rate.
exactly subsequently reduces training costs.
Yes. So it's like mutual, how do you say, like
mutual benefit.
Yeah. 就是
Or
双方都有。
exactly, 双方都有好处.
Yes.
Or you can phrase it as an adverb and an adjective, and you can state it as mutually beneficial.
Mutually beneficial.
Exactly. Mutually would be the adverb, and beneficial in this case would be the adjective.
Oh, I see.
Exactly.
So like companies, employees will be mutually beneficial.
They will, well, reducing turnover rate would be mutually beneficial for both the company and its employees. That's how you would state it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Exactly. So, and then the last part, do you want to give me a small run over in that one, either in Chinese or in English, whichever you feel more comfortable with?
This is a conclusion part. So based
Correct.
on the whole passage, and they made a clear conclusion that allowing workers to transfer within the company, yeah, it's good for both employees and employers.
Why? They give a reason. They give a reason. Why is that good for both employees and the company?
Oh, because it will make the employers, make the employees for more like the company will value their skills and their expertise, so they can just learn new skills between teams. Yeah, and
But they still apply it within the same environment, right?
yeah, they can apply and contribute to the company. So at the company's aspect, this is both good for company itself and the employees.
Exactly. Because again, it reduces training costs.
Yeah, reduce training costs. Yes.
That would occur if you hired an entirely new employee from outside, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
And this is about professional development.
Yeah, thank you, teacher. That's very, yeah, it's very clear and valid. Yeah, I've learned a lot.
All right, great. So that is with it then for this presentation. And I am therefore going to stop sharing my screen. And if you don't have any questions left, then we go until here today.